What's going on, everybody? It is the Lower Mid Card Podcast. I'm Kyle Driver.
And I'm Grind.
It's been a huge couple months
It has.
for the cameramen in the wrestling industry.
The cameramen need a raise. They need a raise,
finally
dude.
Getting the recognition they deserve.
They
for
are
all the things that they do.
Yeah. They are literally capturing things in a way we've never seen before.
Exactly. It's unprecedented camera work.
Yeah.
And just bravo.
Well listen, I'm just saying, I'm just asking the cameraman, like if Bronson Reed can't fix it himself, which obviously at this point he can't, right? Yeah. Then maybe the cameramen can do their amazing work and do everyone some justice and just pan away when this happens or blur it out, or I don't know, maybe the production team can do something.
Let's give our boy a break. Every time we hate on this man's nipples, read the nipple. We got stuff to talk about.
We do. We need to get down to business.
Are you team no nips or team nips?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
It's an important survey question. We need an answer to.
Yeah, check out the video.
Listen, wrestling has been insane, but we are here to cover the WWE and tonight at least. And we're going to start with Payback because we missed Payback. Me and you were in communication. We talked about it. We gave out predictions to each other, but we're not going to even, it's been so long, we're not going to even touch on those. We're just going to go through each match, kind of talk about it for a minute, and then move on because Fastlane is right around the corner, and that is way more important. Payback started with a steel cage match, right? Is that what I got here?
That was match number 1. Yep.
So Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Becky Lynch ends up pulling off a victory, and Trish ends up cutting ties with Zoe Stark. Basically kind of ending her run in the WWE. Currently, I don't know if she'll reappear at the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, but it seems like she's done with her run. It was a wonderful run. I love Trish. I think everything she does is amazing. I don't remember Trish too much as a heel when I was a kid. I know there was a time where she was a heel. But man, she came back. She didn't lose a single step, man. She was able to compete with Becky, and it was great.
Yeah, great match. I enjoyed it. And I think it was a good, bow on the top of that whole feud. I thought it was good.
My biggest concern walking away from that was, what do you do with Zoe Stark? I thought maybe, okay, she's going to start a feud with Trish and maybe, she'll get over as well. I didn't really know how that was going to go. And they
didn't.
No, it was a lot of buildup with Zoe Stark for really nothing. She didn't really play too much of a part in that match or in that series of rivalry. I know that she had a few matches against Becky and whatnot, but overall, it just didn't seem to elevate Zoe to the next level like I thought it would. The house show I went to, she wrestled Nia Jax, and it was a squash match. Nia Jax is a whole nother story. She's back, and woo! And she's smashing everybody, which is a total sidebar conversation. Yeah. But Zoe Stark, this current day, Zoe Stark got smashed on a house show. House show. She didn't even get a chance. She went out there, at first I was like, whose music is this? It was a hardcore metal song she came out to, which I don't think I'd ever heard her music before, which was kind of new to me.
She's got good music.
Yeah, it was good. And then Nia Jax comes out, and she, I guess, is from the Bay Area, which I did not know. And she's from the Bay Area, so everybody was a fan. My daughter was a fan. I was like, "What are you doing? Stop it!" We're not a fan of Nia Jax, And my daughter was like, "Woo!" Squash match, and Zoe current day is getting squashed. So LA Knight defeats The Miz with John Cena as special guest referee. This felt weird.
A little bit.
Yeah. It felt like they were, doing everything right for LA Knight. That's what it felt like. It felt like, LA Knight is finally on the path to crash course with Roman Reigns. Eventually, he's on that road. He's on that road slowly but surely, man. And before he gets there, he's got to run through some people. And so The Miz, with winning 2 matches in the year 2023, definitely was one of those people he had to run into. The Miz, I will tell you this, man, does not get nearly enough credit. That guy is one of the best. He can work with anybody. He can make it interesting. And you don't walk away going, The Miz sucks.
No, never. And another thing, like he's one of those guys that, I mean, he's a company man, right? At the end of the day, like there, whatever WWE throws at him, he fucking rocks it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have another person that's always flown under the radar, and it sucks that he's gone now, but that was Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, dude, that one hurt.
So yeah. But I mean, the match aside, like it was, whatever. Like we all knew LA Knight was gonna win just because he's getting that push. The thing that shocked me though about the LA Knight Miz thing was, I think it was the following SmackDown, they had another match.
Yeah. It was totally not necessary.
And I was like, okay, so they're gonna do the thing where it's like, where LA Knight won the paper, because I think LA Knight lost the first time, the first match that
he had won the first match as well. He had dominated the entire series.
He won 3 times. He won 3 times and like whatever. And that was like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like, they're gonna prolong they're gonna make the feud a little bit longer, right? And then it was just like, boop, done. I was like, oh, okay. I was shocked.
I was shocked, a little before that. LA Knight kind of pushed John Cena at one point. You see John Cena be really fair right down the middle, kind of, it was a 2 count, and you see them kind of get in each other's faces. And then, it was this weird thing where John Cena left the ring. He raised LA Knight's hand, left the ring. And then, LA Knight started walking up the staircase, I think. It was one of the two. And then they met at the top. And John Cena looked at him and then took his shirt off, dude. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then shook his hand. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't know.
Probably a Vince call.
Yeah. You gotta see those muscles, man.
Listen here, John Cena, we're gonna need you to go to the top of the
dude.
Top of the ramp. We're gonna need you to take your shirt off.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, why? Come on, you got to do this for all.
No, it was a moment. I'm like, what's gonna happen? Are they about to fight? And then they shook hands. I was like, that's it? Now you're shaking. Okay, whatever. John Cena acting like a pit bull, dude. Like literally no self-control there. But dude, it's cool that he got that praise. It was cool seeing him get over, because for months, man, this guy was getting fucked. I mean, he was getting so 100%. Screwed over. It was just like, what in the world is happening?
Yeah.
So to see him get over time and time again, and I think we're on the crash course for, I would say, before the end of the year, man. You got LA Knight versus Roman Reigns, which I think is something that everybody wants to see. Good things are coming for Mr. L.A. Knight. Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory. Rey Mysterio defeats Austin Theory for the United States Championship. I mean, it's cool seeing Rey's, got that United States Championship. Good for Rey. Definitely not needed in his career by any means.
No.
Austin Theory feels like a wasted talent at this point. He gets over at WrestleMania with a clean win over John Cena and has done nothing.
Well, he's a Vince guy.
Yeah.
Right. It was the same concept as Roman Reigns. Like, it's just Roman Reigns was force fed to us for the longest time. Like when he was doing the Shield stuff, and then shortly after, like the Shield dissolved, like it was just Roman Reigns. You're gonna take your medicine, you marks. That's basically how it felt, and that's kind of like how the Austin Theory thing went. Now, I will say he's been better now.
Oh yeah.
I like Austin Theory and Waller together. I think
Yeah.
that's really good.
It's the best
Really
he's
good
ever been.
egos. Yes, I'm happy with where they're at right there. I think they were kind of like looking to figure out where to fit him in. But I mean, like the Rey Mysterio winning, it didn't make sense to me, but whatever. I'm
Yeah,
not.
right.
That was what, 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was 2 months ago, and it was just strange because it was like you know, there was another member of the LWO that could have really taken that shot and could have really,
Yeah.
you know, really done something and put, some freshness into the United States title. And instead, they put it on Ray, and I guess Ray's the safest bet. You know that you're going to get a good product out of Ray. You know that you're going to be able to sell merchandise. You know that people are going to tune in. It's just it was just one of those situations where watching this match, knowing what we know, knowing that Austin Theory had gotten over John Cena at Mania, all to just lose to Ray, it just seemed like such a and what's funny is prior to this match, literally Austin Theory wasn't on a main card for like 2 months.
No.
So it was just really lackluster,
Yeah.
and so I guess it needed to happen. They're both doing their own thing now, which is great. Well, I'm sure we'll touch on that later, but yeah, dude. Rey Mysterio wins, becomes the United States champion. So
Side note.
that was the first change of hands, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Judgment Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE tag team titles. And sure enough, man, the titles changed hands.
Yep.
The Judgment Day holds all the belts.
Yeah.
This blew my mind, but it didn't. This was the right decision, I think.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, it made them the most dominant faction in the WWE almost overnight.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Like months ago, we talked about how Judgment Day needs gold.
Yep.
And they have gold. So sweet.
Yeah. So congrats to them. After that, Cody Rhodes revealed on the Grayson Waller effect that Jey Uso is now a Raw roster member. And all I'll say is that moment had me just as puzzled. Just like, what the fuck are they doing, man? Yeah. And I'll tell you this right now, Jimmy and Jay couldn't be more opposite. Opposite, and it's working. So that was a pretty cool moment. The Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez match for the women's world title. I had no idea that in NXT that they were close. Didn't know that was the thing.
I wasn't really paying attention to NXT at the time.
Raquel Rodriguez for me, man, is like it's not the full package. She's not the full package.
No.
And
she got the size, she got the athleticism. I don't know, there's just something missing.
Yeah, something missing. Great as a tag team. I really enjoyed seeing her do her tag team stuff. As a main eventer, it didn't sell me at all.
Yeah.
She gave Rhea a run for her money, and I believe they had multiple matches as well. But there's something special about Rhea, and
100%. And that's oh my god, there's a lot of things that we could talk about in the women's division.
Oh my god, yes.
Like there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And I'll mention it briefly. Like Jade Cargill coming to the WWE. God. It's fucking incredible.
It's insane, bro. It is going to change. It's going to change everything.
Everything. She is leagues better than 90% of the women's roster.
She makes Bianca Belair, in my opinion, look like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the person that's gonna go up against the Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
Like, will probably make Nia Jax look like a fucking stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Or she's incredible.
Yeah.
She's jacked.
Yep.
She's incredible in the ring. Like, I loved her runs in AEW. Yeah.
I only caught the last one, and it was the one that she actually lost.
Yeah.
But I've seen a few clips since then. I was very impressed
Great.
at her physique. Yeah, I told the missus, I told her, you know, when this happened, I was shocked. I couldn't believe that the WWE got their hands on her, because here's the thing. That is the match. Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill at like a super show, like WrestleMania. Nothing short of that. And the thing is about Jade is that like she is what the equivalent of Rhea, which is she looks like a professional wrestler. She is, you know, she has a beauty aspect to her. But like, and she has the athleticism that most women can't pull off. And what's insane is like Bianca Belair, I feel so bad for her, man, because without Jade Cargill, I feel like she's number 2. And I feel like, dude, Jade versus Bianca is another match where I feel like what you're going to see in that match is I feel like you're going to see Bianca not be able to keep up physically with the way that Jade moves.
No. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Jade.
Yeah. That whole thing is just tremendous. And then you add, you know, the Sour Patch Kid of Nia Jax in there, which, you know, really throws everything for a loop. My God, dude, I thought she injured Rhea Ripley. And I am so not a fan of Nia Jax, but
I'm not.
But it does add an interesting element to the women's division that I'm actually enjoying hating.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta dislike something, but like I'll tell you, when I saw it was her that came out, I just went,
yeah, there you go.
I threw my hands up, and I think I'm just like, I had one of my friends, she's a Nia Jax fan, and I'm just like, she goes, oh my God, and I'm just like, yeah, oh my God,
yeah,
fucking cool, great, like let's just throw her right in there.
It's fucking painful, dude.
Yeah,
it's been painful to watch.
It's whatever, like, and it, yeah. Anyway,
I mean, I guess you need it to balance it all out, because you need somebody to be hated, but like you said, she's not hated everywhere. I mean, my daughter at that house show, sure enough, you know, Nia Jax versus Zoe Stark. My daughter was rooting for Nia Jax. I mean, literally, yeah, dude.
You're like, stop clapping.
You know, and she's only 8, so she got a really high pitched voice, and she's like, woo, and I'm like, listen, that's enough. Like you're quiet down right now. Nobody wants to hear that. You know,
exactly. I need you to shut the fuck up. We are not a Nia Jax family.
Yeah,
you're not getting ice cream after.
So bad, dude. Me and the missus just looked at each other like, this is fucking terrible, dude. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But yeah, no, the women's division has gotten so spicy, which is great, because I feel like we were talking, you know, one of the previous episodes on the podcast, we were talking about Ronda leaving and how the division's kind of dried up in a lot of areas, and it really needs something, and for it to have this new fresh blood and to have the Sour Patch Kid come back, dude, it's made it interesting. I'm watching. I'm interested.
Not the main event.
Shinsuke Nakamura, another person, in my opinion, who has a hard time selling fights, selling pay-per-views to the American public, at least. The trailer going into the match was something like it was out of an anime. And I don't watch anime, but I'll tell you this, it was awesome. The way that little like trailer, I would like to call it a vignette, but it wasn't. It was like a trailer to the match, shot in an anime style of like, you know, I'll break your back kind of a thing. Like, you don't deserve this world championship. I thought it was so cool. And it finally got, like, I finally kind of understood Shinsuke's persona and character. It tied to that so well. And that's what I want to see. And I want to see more of that. Dude, I don't care if they have to cut an anime promo for everything this guy does.
Yeah.
It worked. It was dope, man. Make him the anime guy. Make him make him respond with a video on the screen every time. Just do that, dude, and it works. It was so cool, dude. It was
very cool.
Bray has the Firefly Funhouse, right? Give him an anime like thing where literally he just is he's an anime character until he's wrestling, you know.
Right.
I think it would work so much better than what we normally get. And so I was hyped going into the match.
Yeah.
And here's the bummer. Every match I've ever seen this guy in and on a big stage, it's a B tier, C tier match. There was nothing I walked away from that match going, that was epic. That was over the top. That was incredible. It felt like an okay match that didn't mean much of anything. And sure enough, Seth Rollins retains. You know, the story leading into it was that his back was Seth Rollins' back was broken.
Yeah.
And you know, the weak spot was his back. And they tried to implement that in the wrestling match, but it wasn't the full focus. Like, it was just a match. And the next thing you know, Seth is your champion. So
Yeah. I mean, the pay-per-view, like, overall, I mean, I'm giving it like a C plus.
Yeah.
I think it was just it was wrestling, and that's like the biggest thing that I can take away from it. But then again, that was also a couple months ago. Let's, you know, we got some new to talk about.
We do. And you know, coming up this weekend, man, which is really exciting. We have Fastlane. This is really interesting, man. And I don't really know if it's going to draw my attention, but in the world of the LWO, man, Santos Escobar, this is what I was kind of touching on earlier. Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio have been kind of hitting heads, kind of going at it. And they, you know, they ended up having a match. I think it was last week. And it was for the United States champion. And Rey bested Santos Escobar. And so I think you're about
friction.
Yeah, dude. And I think you're about to see that finally, you know, maybe topple the LWO and crumble it in some way, shape, or form. I've also heard
fracture maybe a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. I've also heard that they currently don't have their third teammate that they need. Supposedly it's going to be the LWO, which is Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and then they need a third. And
Carlito.
You're right, dude. Yeah. I couldn't even get it out. You had it. You were ready to go.
I'm sorry. It's just,
no, you're right.
It's gotta be Carlito.
It's gotta be Carlito because Joaquin or Cruz del Toro don't really make sense. They don't have any reason to be in this match. And if you exclude one of them, it's just not going to make a whole lot of sense of why. Carlito, we know, has been signed with the WWE for months now, and they haven't had anything to do with him. What I am hearing is that this is the turn where Carlito takes over the LWO, and they fuck Rey out of it. That's what I'm hearing.
So there's been history with Carlito and Lashley. Like, they've had matches in the past, like back in the day. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, because that was back in like 2007, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. So if let's keep an eye on this.
Yeah.
If it is Carlito, I would love it, because I think Carlito's fucking incredible.
Yes, it needs to happen, bro. It needs to.
If it doesn't, in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Who do you think's gonna win?
So I'll say this. All right. So I say it's a 50-50 shot that Carlito shows up.
Okay.
50-50. If Carlito shows up, LWO wins. If Carlito doesn't show up, Bobby Lashley and Street Profits win.
Okay. I like it. I'm just gonna go 100% in and just say that Carlito does show up, and I'm gonna say that LWO wins.
Okay.
And
then you'll see fallout with the Street Profits.
Yeah. I mean, oh shit, man. The more I think about it, it's like, what does LWO have to lose? There's conflict already within them, so them losing would make a bit more sense, because they can use it to dramatize weeks on end. Lashley and the Street Profits kind of need a win because they haven't really been together. But I'm gonna stick with it. Carlito joins, they win.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in there, and this is like just kind of like, you know, lower percentage chance of this actually happening. So they have someone else in that. Someone else, LWO, does the match, right?
Mm-hmm.
They fucking lose. There's shit that goes down after the match. Then Carlito comes out.
Man, that seems crazy for a first match on the card, doesn't it?
It does. But listen, that's why I said low percentage, but very interesting.
And it would be a great way to start the night.
Just
jaw drops.
I'd be jazzed up. I'd be like, fuck, Carlito's back. Let's go.
That's awesome, dude. I'm in.
Yeah.
What I'm reading following that is the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match between the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso.
Yeah. Well,
there's no reason Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes wins this. There's no way.
There's not. And I'm 100% there. It just makes no sense to have them being a tag team. Like, I get it. He brought him over.
Yep.
I understand. Whatever. BFD. But I mean, like, Balor and Priest haven't really had a run yet.
No.
You know, and taking the belts away from them right now would make zero fucking sense.
It makes as much sense as Dominic losing the belt and then Dominic winning the belt within 3 days.
I'm okay with it, to be honest.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous, though.
I don't even care. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love dumb.
Yeah, dude, right? But
so I think this is going to be more of just like, you know, the match will probably be about like 15 minutes. The Judgment Day wins, and
what if they did win though? What if Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso won? They carried the belts for 3 months, and
I'd shave my beard and eat it, dude.
Remember that. If you're listening, remember that, dude, because
there's
a chance, right? I mean, they could win.
Yeah.
It would throw everything upside down.
You know, I like a little flair. I like a little drama.
Yeah.
I like a little soap opera with my wrestling. So I don't know, like, could it happen? Sure. I think it's like 25% chance that
if it does, it would be awesome. It would be
if Rhodey Chodes and Jey Uso win the titles.
Yeah.
I'd shave my beard and eat it. I'd be like, this is fucking stupid.
Hey, if you're listening, remember that because it could happen. All right. So
I'll do it. Yeah. I'll do it on the pod. Yes. I'll get my beard thing and just shave it.
Oh, that's so great, dude. Okay. All right. God damn. So we both agree, man. Judgment Day, 100%.
Yeah.
Following that might be the most boring women's championship match that I'm not asking for of all time. Yeah. Now, I know there are people out there that are absolutely in love with Miss Io Sky and Asuka, which you know my opinion. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know my opinion about Asuka at this point. The fucking thong needs to go. And Charlotte.
Oh wait, hold on. If she got rid of the thong, like let's say she comes out at Fastlane, she's got new pants.
That'd be badass.
But no thong on those pants. Like, would you be an Asuka fan?
No.
Okay.
Listen, I want to understand, like, her character, and that's where you lose me. You lose me in the promos. If you can't sell a good promo, this is what we talk about. Soap op. It's our soaps, man. So yes, you can wrestle. Yes, you got a cool gimmick, kind of. Sometimes she kind of looks like a clown, but there's nothing wrong with that. She can wrestle, but the promos are just garbage. And it's like we talked about, leading up to WrestleMania, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. There was nothing. There was nothing there, promo wise. So once again, man, I got the chance to see Charlotte Flair. Yeah. I got to see the way she worked against Io Sky. She ended up losing in a roll up. Just caught off guard, roll up. Io Sky wins, and she ended up running out of the ring. So I'm expecting something of the same, where it's a kind of a cheap shot win, and I think Io Sky retains.
I also think Io Sky retains. I'm kind of over Charlotte Flair. I'm kind of over Asuka. I think I think the women's division is in need of a dire shakeup, and they need to start utilizing that. But here's the thing: everyone's getting fucking hurt.
Yeah.
All the women are getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like
They also brought back the Sour Patch Kid, which doesn't help.
Which is probably why they brought her back, is because everyone's fucking hurt.
Well, it doesn't help though, because she's gonna hurt people. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, she hurt Rhea. Yeah, like there was a legitimate injury there.
Yeah, it's so bad, man.
Like it's just like, fuck, dude. Like, and you hate to see it because if you look at it on paper, right? Like Io Sky, great in the ring. Charlotte Flair, great in the ring. Asuka, great in the ring. It just like those, like on paper, it's fucking Hallmark, right?
Yep.
But it's just it's boring to me.
Following that is there. Listen, this is kind of strange, man, because the main event isn't a championship match.
Nope.
The co-main event, or maybe the WWE's both calling the main events because that's what the WWE does. The co-main event is your World Heavyweight Championship match, and it's a rematch from Payback between Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, all I'm gonna say is this: it's a last man standing match.
Yeah.
And I need an anime trailer that's 2 times
There you
better.
go.
It needs to be
better,
bigger. Maybe even halfway through the match an anime trailer. I don't fucking know, dude. That would be pretty sick.
I think with this one, and I'm not that vested in this storyline. I'm just disinterested.
Yeah.
Like I watch it because it's there, right?
Yep.
I do think Shinsuke wins.
Whoa.
Because but here's why. Because I think Seth Rollins is really fucking hurt.
Yep.
And pretty beat up, and he needs a fucking break. And I think Shinsuke is going to be a transition champion. So, like, they'll let him have it for a few weeks, and then someone else is going to take it from him.
Brock Lesnar, dude. I'm telling you.
Or Roddy Chodes. I don't know. Anyway, but like, I don't like. It's been a lot of buildup, and a lot of it's just been that for a couple months now, and I'm just like,
it's been every Raw has been Shinsuke Nakamura, this is your last opportunity to come out here before I decide to not give you another chance at the title.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's just whatever, man. Like I'm just so over it. Like give me another storyline.
Yeah. This one sucks.
It's not great, and I'm just over it, and I just want to be put out of my misery when it comes to this, and I think Shinsuke wins.
After seeing Seth in person, man, for the first time ever seeing him in person, and the way he conducts himself with it, like, on the mic, and the way he performs, dude, Shinsuke can't keep up with that, man.
No,
it's not good for business. I and I really hope we had a similar talk about this before Night of Champions, about the idea that literally, we wanted Seth Rollins to win.
Yeah.
But he was filming, Captain America 4. And it was like, dude, can he pull through and do both? I don't know. If he is really hurt, why is he still doing it? That's what I want to know. And why is he on house shows if that's the case? Like, how hurt really is he if I'm seeing him on a house show? That's where they lose me completely. So I'm going to go with Seth Rollins.
Okay.
I really feel like this is Shinsuke's kind of last opportunity to show the WWE that he can put on a main event match and be of that caliber. I don't feel like Payback what felt like a main event style match, and I feel like that's probably why it's pushed down to not the main event. It's a way to fill time. It's a way to have Shinsuke get in the spotlight, get comfortable more in the spotlight. But I think this is just another road to WrestleMania match for Seth Rollins. I just like you said, I mean, it's just pure wrestling at this point. It's been a really bad promotion. I mean, that one liner that I gave you has been every single Raw.
Yeah.
And then it's been beat the shit out of each other if they can get a hold of each other, and that's it. So
Yeah, it's just not very compelling.
like I was saying earlier, I believe before the pod, I was saying, when I saw Seth at the house show, he was against the Miz, and I truly believe, man, the Miz deserves so much credit because it was so much better than what I'm currently seeing on these, pay-per-views, these premium live events. So, yeah, dude, I think we're unanimous on Seth Rollins. Let's move on, dude. Wait, you said no. Wait. You
I
said
said Shinsuke. So I'm like, this is the one match that I think that you and I are going to be
different on
disagreeing on. But I don't know if it's okay with you. I would love to announce the next match.
Go for it.
So our main event is going to be the GOAT himself, John Cena, and LA Knight, my boy, versus Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa.
Oh,
now, last Friday, when I was watching, and I accidentally spoiled this for you, and I apologize. I felt real fucking bad.
I got a text message, and I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay, well.
So, but like, I'm watching, and John Cena's getting the fucking shit kicked out of him by Jimmy and Solo. And then I go, there's only one person that I want to see walk. I want to hear that music and him come out of that curtain. And I was like, it better be fucking LA Knight, because I hadn't seen that motherfucker in 2 weeks because he had COVID.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wasn't there the week before that because of COVID.
Wow.
And so I was like, this motherfucker better show up, because I'm running low on my LA Knight fix.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And you hear LA Knight, and he comes out, and I was like, I had the biggest fucking broner in my life, because back in the day I was like such a closet Cena fan, because if you were a John Cena fan, within a certain demographic, it's like you're either a kid or you're a divorced 40-year-old dad, right? Dude. That's John Cena's.
Yeah, it totally is.
That's his shtick. But I was a fucking 20-year-old kid, loved John Cena, but I ain't telling nobody. And then I'm like, yes, this is my fever dream. This is fucking incredible. I was like, oh god, I cannot wait. And I'm like, and then it started settling in, right? It's like, wait a second, this is John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline?
Yeah.
Are they doing what I think they're doing? Are we going to see an LA Knight versus Roman Reigns at some point? And I just started getting that tingling in my loins, brother. I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
It's happening, man.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And I was just, it was incredible. I'm super pumped for this match. Yeah.
I got that text message from you, dude, and I was like, well, there's in the entire episode for me, like I knew it was leading up to that moment, and I was waiting for it. And I mean, there are just some moments that even if you know what's going to happen, it's still just as interesting. And this was one of those moments where I now knew what was going to happen. However, I loved every second of it, and I think they're doing it right. I think that by creating this unity from it all stems, which is so weird, it all stems from LA Knight versus the Miz with John Cena as the referee and all that stuff that we talked about at the beginning of this pod, to ending it with John Cena and LA Knight teaming against the Bloodline. And this is a bloodline that is broken down, hurt. Roman has been nowhere in sight. Nowhere. And from my understanding, he won't be there. So this is, I believe, Jimmy's final straw. I think this is where, from what I've seen, and what I know is that the following SmackDown, I believe it's October 13th. Is that Friday? I could be wrong.
Friday the 13th, baby.
Roman Reigns returns to SmackDown, which only makes sense, in my opinion, that they lose. So I think what happens here is you get a pretty clean win from John Cena and LA Knight. I'm sure Solo will try to do something dirty, and then it's gonna be. I don't think there's gonna be too much shock and awe at the end of it, and it's gonna set up for something much larger. Now, I know that anytime there's a part-time guy that comes back. I look at my sources on Twitter, and they tend to give you a schedule of when that person is what events they're scheduled for. So like what SmackDowns they'll be at, what house shows they'll be at, what pay-per-views they'll be at. And I believe that John Cena only has one more month on the events list that he is scheduled for, which I believe before we get LA Knight, Roman, we're getting Roman versus John Cena again. Which all speculation, right? But it would give a reason of why you have John Cena in the mix. Obviously, John Cena's he's fought with the bloodline before. He's been around, he's been in this deep enough, but I think this is going to be Roman's final, like, I'm going to bury him so he never returns to fight the bloodline kind of a thing.
Sure.
And I think Fastlane is just another moving piece in this crazy story of the bloodline, the crazy story of LA Knight, the rise of LA Knight with the fall of the bloodline, dude. What world are we living in? This is, I mean, it's fucking awesome. You know? And here's and to just make it even more clear how much this means, Roman's not going to even be at this event, but we all know what's on the line. We know that the future, he's coming back, and he's got that number one prize, man. And could LA Knight be the guy that really that is the guy that Roman drops the belt to? I don't know, man. I
don't know. Like,
imagine if, oh my God. Crazy. Think about all the news outlets, like the way that people would react. It'd be insane.
It is something else.
It truly is.
It is something else. Like, I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
For my guy. Yeah. Like, and I've said it before. Like, it's been a long time since there's been someone that I've been so passionately behind. And it's LA Knight.
He's just different, man.
He's a throwback, and that's fine. He is a throwback to a generation that rings very near and dear to you and myself. And just don't ever go back and watch the Attitude Era, because it's not good.
Yeah.
But it was certain aspects still give us that huge hit of nostalgia, and he's nailing it to a T. Like, he's giving you just something to root for, and it's awesome. It's a Cinderella story, really. I'm
gonna say something that really kind of goes along with the Attitude Era and what you were talking about earlier with the whole John Cena demographic. I think truly we're in an era, personally, that I want to call the PG-13 era, where the Attitude Era was the rated R era.
Right.
The era in the mid 2000s through like 2015, where the company went public, was the PG era. And now we are, which was the John Cena era, which we are now in this perfect mix in the WWE, because let's admit it, AEW, they're on some WCW meets ECW shit that I can't fucking understand. I don't it's crazy. It's like it's a time capsule. I don't know what I'm watching half the time. But with the WWE being as together as they are, them signing to Endeavor and making that massive deal with the UFC, and the UFC being on top of the world when they do events, you have the blood sport in mixed martial arts in the UFC. So WWE doesn't have to be that. It can be the soap opera meets, testosterone it can be fucking pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be ECW. It doesn't have to be rated R. It doesn't have to be PG either, because that's not what the product is. It's fucking PG-13. It's that perfect mix of everybody can watch it. There's a guy, and I'm gonna say one last thing about this event that I went to, man, and we'll close out.
Yeah.
This event I went to was, like I said, man, it was a dark card house show. Great card, totally recommend it. But this is what I'm saying. I was able to have my kids there, man. They're 5, 6, and 8, right?
Yeah.
They loved every second of it. They won't stop talking about going back to one. And then the guy behind me, I swear to God, was literally just out of prison. Just out of prison. He had 240s in his hands, calling everybody blood. And cuz he put his hand on my shoulder, dude, and he goes, "Hey, man." I go, "What's up?" He goes, "Hey, is that your daughter? Is this your daughter's first event?" And I go, yeah. And he goes, "Right on, bro, right on." Super fucking cool guy. And the rest of the time, he's like, "Fuck you," to like whoever, like almost like having a conversation with the pro wrestlers. He thought, from 400 feet away.
Yeah.
But that's the perfect mix, man. Everybody's there to have a great time,
right?
And you're catching all demographics. Everybody can be a fan of somebody, and that's where the WWE excels, unlike anything else. And it's new. This has not been the way it's always been. When it was the Attitude Era, it was hard to watch for some people, right?
Oh yeah.
And then when it was John Cena era, you're right, dude. If you were 20 years old and you were a John Cena fan or even a WWE fan, a lot of people would look at you and go, "You like that stuff?" Because he was so PG and so just too goody tissues, right?
Yeah.
So to be where we're at now, to have somebody who is a throwback like LA Knight, who meets John Cena, who is against the bloodline, right?
Yeah.
You get this perfect mix of fucking everything that we've had and everything we want. And it makes for such a good night of entertainment, which,
for sure,
listen, I have high expectations about Fastlane, and I can't wait to talk about what happened. So
I'm pumped.
Another episode of the Lower Mid Card Podcast. Have a good one.